now I'm in business. All I need is customers, you know? And so I buy this computer, and in those days, you know, it was an old DOS computer, and I buy this generic retail program that has 3 price levels. It has like cost, what I paid for it. It has like retail, and it has like a discounted price, right? Only problem is auto parts have 5 price levels because you have people who stock your parts, and you have you have people that do certain volumes with you, and then you have a list price. So anyway, to shorten the story, we go along for about 6 months with these 3 price levels, and every time we do a shop, we're dealing with a shop, we give them a discount, manually give them a discount. We can do this price override thing, and it's working okay, and it's only one station, by the way. It was pretty high tech. We're the only, out of 3 parts houses in town, we're the only ones that have a computer at all. So it's kind of cool. The inventory control thing worked good. But here's the problem. We started to get repair shops that actually stocked our parts, which was good because they bought a lot more from us, but it was bad because they bought at a 10% cheaper cost. But what's the problem? I don't have a price level for that. So every single time the part goes out the door, my guys have to remember to override the part, that brand of part, just that brand of part. And there's about 500 brands of parts. Well, you know how often they forgot? Always. Well, this is a small town, so you can kind of probably imagine, all of you that are in business, what this looked like after about 3 months, right? The salesman goes out, talks the customer into stocking our parts. The customer stocks our parts, he gets a 10% better break, but he doesn't actually get the break because our guys keep forgetting to override the price. So then he thinks we're stealing from him. And he thinks the only time he gets a break is when he calls and screams on the phone. So we institute all these different things, and I'm like, man, we need a computer. So in the midst of all of this mess, I call the computer company that we bought the software from, and tell them the whole story, right? And they put the software guy on the phone, and he goes, what's the problem? I tell him. He said, I really don't think I can do anything about that because the program itself is written to have only 3 price levels. So I don't know what I can do about that, but I will try. So he works on it for a week. And he calls me back at the end of the week. He said, I'm sorry, Mr. Vallotton. The truth is that just what I told you at the beginning, the whole foundation of this thing was written for only 3 price levels. I'm like, okay. So, we go another couple weeks, and my friend Kirk Alderson comes in one day, and just right after a customer just got done screaming at me and called me a thief and a robber and a liar, over 3 invoices that day before that he didn't get. Oh, it was terrible. And so my friend, Kirk, says, I have a friend in Reading, and this guy can do anything. I bet he can rewrite the program for you. He said, I bet he'll do it for free. He's my friend. He owes me a favor. He's up in Weaverville for 3 days. At the end of 3 days, he goes, I'm really sorry. There's nothing I can do. This same thing the programmer said. This was written to have 3 price levels. You actually need specialized software for the automotive. And I know that, but that costs $35,000 that I don't have. So it's really frustrating. We go through all this stuff. It's like now 6 months, 6 months have passed, and not every single day, several times a week, our main customers are screaming at us. I take them to show them our computer. I go, this is the problem. Every month I'll make sure my wife goes through every single invoice. We'll give you a discount, it just goes on and on. It's just not good. So one night, I just got screamed at one day. I go home that night, I'm really troubled, and I go to bed, and right before I go to bed, I said, Lord, give me the answer. I need an answer. And you know everything. I fix cars by the word of knowledge. You know everything. And I go to sleep, and I have a dream. Now, first of all, I have to tell you something. I don't know a thing about computers. In those days, you turn a computer on and you have to type in a code to get the computer to come up. You remember that? I couldn't do that. I have to wait for my manager to come in every morning to turn the computer on. So everybody who comes in before my manager gets there gets a handwritten invoice. I can't even turn the computer on. And I can't type. So I go to sleep, I have this dream, and in this dream, I see 4 lines or 5 lines of what I now know to be computer code. Do you know what that is? It's like 3-7 dash backslash, it's that long, right? It's 4 or 5 lines of it. And I wake up in the middle of the night, and I had prayed about the problem. So I'm like, oh, this has something to do with the problem. But I don't know how to explain this, and it's never happened to me before or since. It's burned in my memory. Like when I wake up, I can see it. Not with my eyes, but I can see it. I get my journal out, which I always keep on my bed, and I write it down as clearly as I can see it in my mind. I'm too stupid to know if I miss a dash, it isn't going to work, right? I don't even know that. I write it down. Lines. And then I wake my wife up because she knows how to turn the computer on. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake her up. I said, honey, what are you doing? She said, sleep, what? I said, what, babe, what's going on? What's wrong? I said, you know how we have that problem with the computer? Yeah, I know. I think I have the answer. It's like, what? Oh, you have the answer. She said, what? I said, I think the Lord gave me the code to fix the computer. She's not a believer. She's a believer in Jesus, but not Mon and me, I'm saying. It takes me an hour to get her out of bed. She gets out of bed. It's now 4 o'clock. We get down to the store at 4:30 in the morning. She's not happy. This is not helping our marriage. And so I have this thing written down in my journal. And she's smart enough to know that if I miss a dash or something, it's not going to work. So she goes, oh, give me the first line. She's like, give me the first line. I'm like, and I say one of those things that go that way. I don't know. It's called backslash. Like, well, she's like, let me see it. So she gets it all in the first line in there, and it goes. The whole machine goes whoop, 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 and the screen goes black, comes back on, and she goes, I think we're in the back of the program. Come on. I said, is that good? I didn't even know. Like, a hard drive was, a bad road. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was at. She goes, I think we're in the back of the program. I said, is that good? She said, give me the rest of the thing. So I give her the rest of the code, and the computer goes, whoop, and reboots itself. Well, I didn't even know what reboot meant. I thought put on some new shoes, It comes back up, and she goes, well, let's make up a customer. Let's just put a phony customer in there. So we put a customer in there, and she goes, let's bill out a part. We go to bill out a part, and it has 5 price levels. Is that awesome?